Have you ever wondered what if everything you learned about the start of World War II was only part of the story? Most people believe the answer is simple: Hitler wanted war. But if that were the whole truth, why did millions of Germans support him? Why did powerful European nations allow him to become stronger year after year? Why did almost no one stop him until it was too late? The story you're about to hear is not just about one man. It is a story of humiliation, economic collapse, political chaos, fear, propaganda, broken promises, and a series of decisions that slowly pushed the world toward disaster. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the deadliest war in human history became almost impossible to stop. Let's go back to the year 1919. Germany had just lost the First World War. The country was exhausted. Millions were dead. Cities were struggling. Families had lost fathers, sons, and brothers. But for many Germans, the military defeat was not the worst part. The real shock came when the Treaty of Versailles was signed. Germany was forced to accept full responsibility for the war, surrender territory, reduce its military, and pay enormous reparations. Many Germans believed the treaty was designed to keep their nation permanently weak. Inflation exploded. People carried bags full of money just to buy bread. Life savings disappeared overnight. Middle-class families who had worked their entire lives suddenly found themselves unable to afford basic necessities. This anger created the perfect environment for radical politics. Among the many political figures trying to gain attention was a former soldier named Adolf Hitler. At first, almost nobody took him seriously. He was not wealthy. He was not famous. He held no important office. But he possessed one extraordinary skill. He knew how to turn frustration into political power. Instead of offering complicated economic solutions, he offered simple enemies. He blamed the Treaty of Versailles. He blamed communists. He blamed democratic politicians. He blamed foreign powers. And above all, he promoted anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, falsely claiming that Jewish people were responsible for Germany's problems. These claims had no factual basis, but repeated propaganda convinced many desperate people. Then something happened that changed everything. In 1929, the Great Depression spread across the world. Businesses collapsed. Banks failed. Millions lost their jobs. In Germany, unemployment reached catastrophic levels. People who had lost hope began looking for someone promising national recovery. Hitler promised exactly that. He promised jobs. He promised military strength. He promised national pride. He promised that Germany would become powerful again. Election after election, his support grew. Finally, in 1933, Hitler became Chancellor of Germany. Many conservative politicians believed they could control him. Instead, he quickly eliminated opposition. Political rivals disappeared. Independent newspapers were shut down. Trade unions were abolished. Democracy slowly vanished. Germany became a dictatorship. But something interesting happened. As authoritarian control increased, unemployment decreased. Massive construction projects created jobs. Factories reopened. Highways were built. Military production expanded rapidly. Many ordinary Germans experienced economic improvement. For supporters, Hitler appeared to be delivering on his promises. However, much of this recovery depended on preparing for war. Germany secretly rebuilt its military despite restrictions imposed after World War I. New tanks rolled out of factories. Modern aircraft entered service. Soldiers received advanced training. Every step violated international agreements. Yet Britain and France largely avoided confrontation. Why? Because memories of World War I were still fresh. Millions had died only 20 years earlier. Political leaders feared another catastrophic conflict. Many believed negotiation was better than military action. This policy became known as appeasement. Hitler carefully tested how far he could go. In 1936, German troops entered the Rhineland, an area that was supposed to remain demilitarized. German commanders were nervous. If France had responded immediately, they had orders to retreat. But no major military response came. Hitler realized something important. His opponents wanted peace almost at any cost. That success encouraged even greater ambitions. Next came Austria. In 1938, Germany annexed the country in an event known as the Anschluss. Again, there was little resistance from outside powers. Soon afterward, Hitler demanded the Sudetenland, a region of Czechoslovakia with a large ethnic German population. British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain met Hitler in Munich. The agreement allowed Germany to take the territory in exchange for promises of peace. Returning home, Chamberlain famously declared that he believed he had secured peace for our time. Less than 6 months later, German forces occupied the rest of Czechoslovakia. Hitler's promises meant nothing. Still, Europe hesitated. Behind the scenes, Hitler had already begun planning a much larger conflict. His worldview centered on expansion. He argued that Germany needed more land and resources for its future. This concept, called Lebensraum, became one of the central ideas of Nazi ideology. Eastern Europe, especially Poland and the Soviet Union, was viewed as territory to be conquered. But attacking Poland created a dangerous problem. Britain and France had guaranteed Polish independence. An invasion could trigger another world war. Hitler searched for a solution. Then came one of history's most surprising agreements. In August 1939, Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union signed a non-aggression pact. The two ideological enemies secretly agreed not to attack each other. Even more shocking, secret protocols divided parts of Eastern Europe into spheres of influence. Now Hitler believed he could invade Poland without immediately facing a war on two fronts. On September 1, 1939, German forces crossed the Polish border. To justify the invasion, Nazi propaganda claimed Germany was responding to Polish aggression. Historians have documented that German operatives staged incidents designed to create this false narrative. The invasion introduced a terrifying new form of warfare. Fast-moving tanks, aircraft, artillery, and infantry worked together with remarkable speed. Cities were bombed. Communication lines collapsed. Defenses broke apart. The strategy became known as Blitzkrieg, or Lightning War. Only 2 days later, Britain and France declared war on Germany. World War II had begun. But here is the question many people still ask. Did Hitler actually want a global war? Many historians argue that he expected Britain and France to back down once again, just as they had during previous crises. Others believe conflict with Western powers was inevitable because of his expansionist ideology. What is clear is that every previous success convinced Hitler that his opponents lacked the will to fight. Each concession increased his confidence. Each diplomatic victory encouraged greater risk. Each missed opportunity made war more likely. The consequences became unimaginable. The conflict spread across Europe. Then North Africa. Then the Atlantic Ocean. Then Asia and the Pacific. The Soviet Union became the site of enormous battles. The United States entered the war after the attack on Pearl Harbor. More than 60 countries became involved. Entire cities were destroyed. Millions of civilians suffered occupation, forced labor, displacement, and starvation. The Holocaust resulted in the systematic murder of 6 million Jewish people and millions of other victims targeted by the Nazi regime, making it one of history's greatest crimes against humanity. By 1945, Germany lay in ruins. Berlin was surrounded. The empire Hitler promised would last for generations had collapsed after only 12 years in power. His decisions had devastated not only Europe but Germany itself. Looking back, historians continue to debate which single factor mattered most. Was it the harsh terms imposed after World War I? Was it the economic collapse of the Great Depression? Was it political extremism? Was it propaganda? Was it the failure of democratic institutions? Or was it the unwillingness of powerful nations to confront aggression before it became unstoppable? The answer is probably all of them. History rarely changes because of one event or one person alone. Instead, it is shaped by countless decisions, fears, ambitions, and missed opportunities that slowly build toward a turning point. World War II did not begin in a single day. It was the result of years of tension, miscalculation, nationalism, economic hardship, and authoritarian expansion. Understanding those causes is more than an exercise in remembering the past. It is a reminder that democratic institutions, factual information, international cooperation, and accountability can play a crucial role in preventing similar tragedies. The real story behind the beginning of World War II is not simply the story of one dictator. It is the story of how a series of political choices, social crises, and international failures combined to create one of the deadliest conflicts humanity has ever known. And perhaps the most important lesson is this: history does not repeat itself in exactly the same way, but it often echoes through the choices people make when fear becomes stronger than reason.